if you're 50, 60 or over, there really is no better business in the world than an email or a newsletter business. You could work from anywhere. You could run it by yourself. You don't need a team. Like, I wrote mine this morning from the pool. But there are 3 mistakes I see people making, 3 big mistakes, and it has to do with what you're actually writing in your email. So I want to make this easy for you. We want to break them down and give you some specific examples to really make your email shine through so it gets opened, you get results, and whatever you're going to be offering in the background, whether you have sponsors, whether you have products or programs, whether you're doing coaching or consulting or selling books or you want to do speaking, your emails are going to get opened and noticed. So I like to kind of make things easy with letters and sometimes alliteration. So let's think about these as the 3 L's, okay? So what you want your email to do is hit at least one of these 3 L's. Sometimes it might be 1, sometimes your email might be 2, and sometimes it might be all 3 of the L's. It doesn't matter, but it should really hit 1, because if it's not addressing at least one of these L's, then it's going to be an L, right? Your email is going to be a loser. It's just, after a while, people are going to stop opening, they're going to unsubscribe, and that is like the kiss of death. You don't want that. So let's dive in. The first L is learn. And that is email, that is educational. It's teaching people something in some way, shape, or form. It's solving problems. It's helping people move towards a goal or away from pain. And this is where most people kind of start and stop their emails. So for example, let's say you're 64 years old and maybe you're a personal trainer or maybe you've just been getting fit lately and you want to teach health and fitness and exercise and nutrition and recipes to people in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, right? Like that's your thing. You're like, this is it. This is my lane. This is my wheelhouse. This is where I want to be. So here's what most do in that situation. They say, okay, great. First email I'm sending out. Here are 7 ways to get more water in your day. You know, every time you walk by the kitchen, grab a glass of water, you know, fill up the water bottle. Like, okay, great. They're tips. They're tips you can read in any magazine on the newsstand. Am I dating myself? Magazine, right? Men's Health, Women's Health. Like these are just generic tips you can find anywhere. And that's where people get into this like, well, why would someone want to open my email? Why are they going to buy my stuff? If it's like that, they're not going to stay tuned for very long. So I think learning the first L, it's a part of it, right? But if you only rely on that type of content, after a while, it does get old. It does get stale. You just kind of run out of energy. Like there's no one that wakes up in the morning and goes, oh my God, I can't wait to open up Susie's email about 3 more ways to, drink more water in the day. It's just not something that people really get excited for. You can still teach and you should have a lesson, right? Every email, there should be something they walk away with, some kind of tactical, practical takeaway where, okay, this is the lesson I'm getting from it. So L does have its place, but I don't think your email should rely completely on that. When I first started emailing, and my emails, like my first emails were the late 90s, 99, as a fitness pro, that's where I got stuck. So I was like, everything was, and mine was strength and conditioning. Here are the 7 best speed exercises, 4 agility drills, and people kind of tune that out for a little bit, right? So that's one L that you want to make sure you're addressing, but you don't rely completely on it. So Ryan, what's the next L? We got 2 more L's to go. The second L is laugh. Now, I don't mean cheesy jokes, like cheesy dad jokes. By laugh, it kind of is a broader idea of entertainment, right? Like you could bring up, and everyone has their own personality and everyone has things they like to talk about and passions and hobbies. And we're gonna get more into that stuff. And if you want more of my tips about email, just below, write the word email. I got some cool reports coming for you. But anyway, L for laugh really is taking people outside of just that learning content, taking them outside of just the educational content and getting into things beyond that. Even if people subscribe to your email, it doesn't necessarily mean they only want that content. They still want it in different formats and different personalities shining through. And I do believe the more you can incorporate that, especially current events, the more alive it makes your email and your newsletter. And there are two different schools of thought. And I don't want to get too deep into the woods now. We'll address it in a future one, because there's evergreen newsletters that are pre-written, where you can write 2, 5, 10, 100 emails ahead of time, and they're just delivered automatically. And then there's what I call fresh emails and fresh newsletters, where it's up to the date and up to the minute. You're saying, this is what's happening. Hey, there's an election. Oh my God, did you see the Kardashians last night? Who won the American Idol? Now I'm starting to really date myself. Star Search, right? Ed McMahon. But by bringing that stuff in, people are like, okay, this is kind of happening now. It's a little bit lighter. It's a little bit educational. And you're mixing in some things. So you don't have to just talk about, here are my 5 favorite ab exercises. You could even start with a little bit of a story. Hey, my wife and I, my husband and I, my sister and I last night were watching this Real Housewives show. And I saw the trainer on there doing these ab exercises. They were doing a medicine ball ab exercise. And you know what? I don't agree with that. I actually think it's wrong. So you see, you brought some entertainment into the educational part of it. It's not just, here are my 5 favorite ab exercises. I am a robot. I create newsletters. You're adding some texture, some dimension to your personality. And we're gonna get, again, a lot more into that. Just put email below, more coming. So we've got the first L, which is learn, right? The education. The second L, which is laugh, which is entertainment and bringing in some pop culture and making it fun and bringing other elements besides just the educational content. The third L, well, Ryan, what's the third L? I'm glad you asked, my friend. The third L is light. And when I say light, I mean, look at the world now. It feels kind of heavy, doesn't it? I mean, everything is so negative and aggressive, and you go on social media, no matter what you say, someone's gonna find the opposite. Oh my God, look at this great flower we just picked. Someone's like, oh my God, you're picking flowers, you're killing the environment. Like, you're killing bees. You kind of, everyone's on edge. And I get it. And I'm not saying you shouldn't live in reality, but when I say we, I mean us, people. We're looking for more lightness. We're looking for inspiration. We're looking for motivation. Again, it's not just the education content, and it could be some entertainment, but I still think if you're going to have the entertainment, the laugh stuff, there still should be a little bit of meat on the bone. Sorry, vegans. But there should be something of value where people are like, okay, that's cool. I get that. That's for me. That's my big takeaway today. But you can still add in inspiration of stories. Maybe it's a story of you. So again, staying with that theme of fitness, how you lost 30 pounds after you had your 3rd child, or you were diagnosed with, like me, my story was I was a fitness pro, and then I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder about a decade ago, and I gained 40 pounds, and I lost the weight naturally. I didn't get on meds, and that was a lot of my story. And that was the reason behind me creating my most recent nutrition company called Rewind. So you can add in stories of inspiration, whether it's you, whether it's someone you've worked with, whether it's a friend or a family member, or even a story you've seen. Because you might say, well, I'm just kind of getting started during my second act here. You know, I was a former attorney, and I lost weight, and I want to help people lose weight, but I haven't worked with any clients. It's just for me. But you could talk about transformations of maybe a celebrity you've seen or a story you read online. Hey guys, I was reading this story about this person who lost 10 pounds by doing this system, and maybe your system is intermittent fasting or keto or whatever it is, right? I'm not judging what it is you want to teach. You teach what it is you want to teach, but giving people inspiration and showing, here's where you can go on this journey, right? So this is the way You take your emails by doing these 3 things and avoiding the mistakes of like keeping it just boring, dry, listicle type stuff. Adding your personality, the 3 L's, right? The learning, the laughing, and the lightness. Those 3 things, you add them in and you avoid just being boring and dull. That's how your email starts to really take hold of people. Like, I want this person's email. I want to open their newsletter. I want to see what they have to say. That's the beginning of a beautiful business. So I hope you found this valuable. There's so much more to come. Like, there's this next video. I don't even know where it's going to be. It's somewhere here, but click and watch the next video because there's so much more coming your way. And again, if you like this, can you please drop me a like and maybe even subscribe? Why not? You do this, I'm going to keep doing more videos. And if not, that's okay. I'll just keep writing my emails. So I'll see you on the next one. Like, subscribe, maybe type the word email below for some free reports on how to write really good emails. Because 50, 60 beyond, we are just getting started, my friend. See you on the next video.